She was once beautiful, Maria, they called her. Her laughter echoed through the village, light and joyful. Then she met him, a wealthy rancher with eyes that promised the world. He promised her love, promised her forever. He lied. Maria, blinded by love, bore him 2 sons. But the rancher's eye wandered. He tired of the village, of Maria. He yearned for the city, for a woman of his own class. One day, he was gone, returned to the city, they said. Left her with nothing but a broken heart and the whispers of gossiping villagers. Maria, her beauty now a forgotten memory, was consumed by rage and despair. She wandered the village, clutching her sons, her heart a cold stone. The river ran through the heart of the village, its waters usually calm and serene. Tonight, it mirrored Maria's fury. She stood at the river's edge, her sons clutching at her ragged skirts.
"Mama!" they cried, their voices thin and afraid.
But Maria saw only the rancher's face, heard only his empty promises. This river, a source of life for the village, would become a wellspring of her vengeance. Maria waded into the churning water, her sons' cries swallowed by the roar of the current. She held them close, their small bodies trembling against hers, and then, with a final, heart-wrenching sob, she dragged them under. The river returned the boys, lifeless, their faces pale and peaceful in the morning light. They lay on the riverbank, a testament to Maria's madness, but Maria was gone, swallowed by the legend that began to bloom in the village. They called her La Llorona, the weeping woman cursed to wander the earth for eternity.
Now, she walks alone, her cries a chilling lament that echoes through the night. They say she searches for her sons, her wails filled with unending sorrow and regret. But hers is a search doomed to fail, a punishment for a mother's ultimate betrayal.
We ran. The forest seemed alive, shadows stretching like claws, every rustle a whisper. Our breaths burned, fear driving us forward. It wasn't just fear, it was survival. The air felt wrong, pressing down on us. The trees seemed to close in, their branches reaching out to trap us. A low moan arose, carried on the wind. "Miss Hichos! Miss Hichos!" The words echoed, distorted, as if the lake itself was speaking. The voice, filled with sorrow, sent shivers down our spines. It was a sound you couldn't unhear. The lake loomed ahead, its surface eerily still, as if waiting. And then we heard it. A sound filled with pain, sadness, and something ancient. The lake seemed alive, its mist swirling deliberately, almost sentient. The old lake reflected the moon like a shattered mirror, beautiful yet deeply unsettling. It held secrets it was desperate to keep hidden. They tried to laugh it off, but deep down, they knew better. The lake always remembered. The warnings had been ignored, but the lake never forgets.
In the barrios, where secrets huddle in the shadows, the air feels heavy with stories untold. Every corner, every alley seems to hold its breath as if waiting for the night to reveal its mysteries. The night whispers its own tales, carried by the wind that rustles through the trees and slips through the cracks of old wooden doors. Mothers clutch their children close, their arms a fragile barrier against the unknown. They know the stories, the warnings passed down like heirlooms.
"Be good," we tell them. "Listen to your elders. Stay where we can see you, or La Llorona will take you away." Her wails echo in the night, a chilling reminder of her sorrow and wrath.
For generations her legend has served as a cautionary tale, a way to keep children from straying too far, from wandering into danger. But it's more than just a story, it's a warning, a plea to respect the unseen forces that linger in the dark. The ticking clock reminds us of the dangers of the night, of the thin line between safety and the unknown.
But sometimes it's not just a story. Sometimes it's real. The fear in our hearts tells us so.
They speak of children who disappeared without a trace, snatched from their beds, leaving behind only whispers and unanswered questions. Or lured away from playgrounds, their laughter replaced by silence, their absence a haunting void. And while some dismiss these disappearances as the unfortunate realities of life in the barrio, others feel the weight of something more sinister. They see the spectral hand of La Llorona at work, her grief-fueled rage claiming new victims, her sorrow never-ending. The river becomes her domain, the mist her shroud, as she searches endlessly for what she has lost.
I don't know. Maybe it's not her, but maybe it is. The stories are too many, the fear too real to ignore. And that's enough for me to keep my little ones close, to hold them tight and pray the night passes without incident.
That night by the lake, the teenagers saw her. They had heard the stories whispered in hushed tones around campfires, but none of them truly believed, not until that moment. A figure in white, gliding across the water as if walking on air. Her movements were unnaturally smooth, almost hypnotic, as though she were a part of the lake itself. Her long, dark hair, tangled and wild, framed a face twisted in eternal sorrow. Her eyes, hollow and dark, seemed to carry the weight of centuries of grief, a pain that no words could ever describe.
We couldn't believe our eyes. She was real. The stories weren't just tales to scare kids. She was standing there right in front of us, and we were frozen in fear.
Her cries echoed across the water, each syllable a nail hammered into their hearts. "Ay, mis hijos!" The sound was otherworldly, a mix of anguish and rage that sent shivers down their spines. Terror, raw and primal, seized them. It was the kind of fear that made their legs weak, their breaths shallow, and their minds scream for escape.
I swear she looked right at me, like she could see into my soul. Her gaze wasn't just looking, it was piercing, as if she knew every secret, every fear I had ever buried.
They stumbled back from the shore, their eyes fixed on the apparition. Every step felt like a struggle, as though the air itself was trying to hold them in place, to keep them from escaping. Some say she stretched out her hand, her fingers long and pale in the moonlight. It was as if she was reaching for something, or someone, lost to her forever. Others swear they saw the flicker of fire in her eyes, a reflection of the inferno that consumed her soul. The flames seemed alive, dancing with a fury that could never be extinguished.
I don't know what I saw. All I know is, I'll never go near that lake again. That place. It's cursed. It's like the air itself remembers her pain and won't let you forget it.
But one thing they all agreed on, La Llorona was real and the terror she inspired was bone-chilling. Her presence lingered, a shadow over the lake, a reminder that some stories are more than just legends. The legend of La Llorona is a chilling reminder of the power of grief, of the darkness that can consume even the purest heart. She is a warning, a specter that haunts the edges of our dreams and reminds us of the fragility of life and the enduring strength of a mother's love, even in its most twisted form. If you hear her cries in the night, if you see a flicker of white in the shadows, do not approach, do not seek her out, for La Llorona's sorrow is bottomless, and those who cross her path rarely escape unscathed. Turn away, lock your doors, and pray that her mournful cries never reach your ears.